Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to qualifying 2 of the weekend for the DTM Trophy. We are now past the halfway point of the season. This indeed is the start of the second half of the season. And well, we start with a qualifying session. Of course, yesterday with the fog that we had, we were not able to have a qualifying session for their race. So they started in championship order, and well, Tim Heineman took full advantage of that fact. And well, he now has a 12-point lead over Colin Karasani in this championship. But there are 3 points up for grabs in this session right now. P1 gets 3 points, P2 will get 2 points, and P3 will get 1 point. The most unluckiest man in the series right now, Ricky Capo, there sat in the pits, of course. Yesterday he was unable to indeed finish the race after receiving damage to the front left of his Porsche. But his teammate Daniel Gregor, he finished in second spot. He went 12th to second in the race, so the Porsche definitely have some pace here. And Ricky, if he wants to get into the hunt of this championship, has to start winning races. It's not even a case of getting towards that top 5 now. It is winning races, because it's becoming very dire indeed, unfortunately for him. There's Almeida and Cal Halper, the two BWT Muka Motorsport drivers, of course, show some serious pace when it comes to the races, especially the second half, but their qualifying has been what has been lacking for them. So can they right that wrong today? You just see in the background as well, Moritz Lohner, Thiago Vivacqua just going past as well out onto circuit. And well, welcome to everybody around the world. If you're watching on television right now, well, welcome. You can indeed get yourselves involved in the conversation using the hashtag WeLoveDTM on Twitter and Instagram. You can also tweet me at ActRollVision as well. And if you are indeed on YouTube right now, get yourselves involved. Let me know where you're watching from around the world. Put those flags of your country and let me know who you are supporting. As there's everybody's favourite sim racer, Moritz Lohner, in that media-marked FK Performance Motorsport BMW. Had a right old ding-dong in yesterday's race, and well, that's what you expect with DTM Trophy. It is so close. The only driver who really didn't have too much to deal with is this man on camera right now. As if by magic, Tim appears. He just let everybody behind him have a little fight with each other, slow each other down, and he drove off into the distance. Smiley Heineman is his new name. I know, I can't believe it. If you know who Tim Heineman is, you know that he's not a fan of smiling. But this season, oh, he's a different human being. He is so happy to be here, and he's just really enjoying himself, which is really nice to see, actually. Really nice to see. The most relaxed Tim Heineman I've ever known. As he comes then through the S's at the back end of the circuit, up towards the very long run in towards that final chicane via the kink, the right-hand kink. But it's all flat out now. It's loud pedal to the floor until we get towards that final chicane. As we all know, it takes a couple of laps for these drivers to get heat into their tyres as well. They will be on a fresh set of rubber as well. They get 2 sets of tyres across the weekend. In free practice, they use an old set that they've used previously. And then on a Saturday, normally they do one qualifying session and then indeed a race, and very similarly on Sunday as well. Here's Dia Uverhaus, of course, who is officially the youngest ever DTM Trophy winner. He's won 2 races now, but also the youngest ever DTM driver. He managed to indeed do that yesterday by competing in the DTM for Volkenhorst Motorsport. P19 as well. It's such a busy schedule today for him. He had to then run out of the car and jump into this car for the second race of the day, and it just was a bit too much. But I tell you what, 17 years old, the experience he gains from this weekend is going to be absolutely invaluable. Remember the name, Theo Uverhaus, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Heineman is provisionally on pole position at a 38.007, and throughout the season, he actually has the most qualifying points. So he's got 7 points from qualifying so far this season, actually tied with JP Southern. JP Southern, of course, not able to race this weekend, and I'm not sure we're going to see him again this season because he's got a serious shoulder injury, although I played it down. Again, JP, if you're watching, I do apologise for that. All in good fun, of course. But yeah, maybe he'll have a speedy recovery. He's young. He might recover from it and be back before the end of the season. Who knows? Thiago Vivacqua then he has 6 points from qualifying so far this season. Joel Almeida supporting Rodrigo today from Mozambique. Welcome, Killian. How you doing? Hopefully you're all. Modest B as well. Hopefully you're okay. So welcome to all of you there on YouTube. So here is, well, that's Ricky Capo. This is Daniel Gregor, who's just gone green and purple through Sector 1 and Sector 2. And, well, Tim Heineman has just gone purple behind them. And actually, Daniel Gregor is bringing the car into the pits, which is a very strange decision, to be honest. because he was on an absolute flyer of a lap there. I'm not sure it's going to matter too much here because Tim Heinemann is just on a different planet already here with his pace. And I'm not too... Oh, it's a 35.129. Tim Heinemann is not messing around here today. He is trying to add to that tow. He's trying to go into double figures for his tally in terms of qualification points. And wow, Super Sunday is starting off with an absolute bang for the German. We've got Ryan Dooman then throwing out the South African flags. I bet you were happy yesterday, weren't you? It was the Van der Linde show yesterday. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As you can see there, through turn number 3, we'll go into 4. And yeah, Tim Heinemann is absolutely having so much fun. You can just tell he's just swinging the car out, just doing what he wants to do, and just really having a load of fun with it. Ricky Capo is going... Well, he went green through the first sector. The second sector and the third sector on the previous lap. In the first sector, he didn't. He's just gone green through the first sector. But he's being caught very quickly here by Tim Heinemann. So I'm not sure this is going to be the world's quickest lap by any stretch of the imagination, as Tim Heinemann has just gone purple again through sector number 1. This is an unbelievable stint. So not only is he fast, but his consistency is absolutely ridiculous. I wonder if Capo might be trying to get into the tow here behind Heinemann. Might be actually a really good idea. Up towards that final chicane we will come. Heinemann is, he's unfortunately grey through sector number 2. So I'm not sure this is going to be a lightning time by any stretch of the imagination. And it will be a pull into the pits here, as Ricky Capo does indeed go past. And he will now start his first official flying lap, I would say. Nick Hanke up to second position, about half a second behind what Tim Heinemann has produced. I say half a second, it's actually 1.5 seconds, isn't it? It's 1:36.9. It's more than 1.5 seconds. Henkefend, who's just gone up to P2, and if you look, if you guys are here at the track, if you look at the Dorint hotel, you'll see, well, there it is. It's actually on screen right there. It's a massive poster of Lewis up there on a hotel. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. Shout out to who that is. I'm not sure. It might be his family. Who knows? It might be his own room. But, yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to see. Hoffman then, around the final corner. Hoffman is on a quick lap. Yeah, it's green through sector 1. Not the quickest middle sector, but sector 3 has put Sophie into P3 now. 36.964. So times will start to tumble here, of course. It'll be a lot closer when it comes to the end of the session. That is for sure. We've got Harco there. Good morning from the Netherlands, supporting Hoffman as well. Walter Clark. Are DTM cars faster than the trophy cars? Yes, they are. Yes, they are, for sure. Theo Uverhaus just gone across the line in P9. Again, no real representative time. And if you follow Formula 1, ladies and gentlemen, it's very similar for these drivers in terms of tyres. You can't overheat them too quickly. You can't put temperature into the tyres really quickly because they completely die off, and they have to look after them because they're using the same tyres for the race as well. So hopefully that's understood here. As Thiago Vivacqua is purple. Well, I'll tell you what, that's one way of going over that curb. He's lost a lot of time through there, actually. But Vivacqua has got some pace here. Is this going to be good enough to go provisional pole, though? That's the question. Had an incredible start yesterday, but then outbroke himself in the lead of the race. Still managed a podium, but as Vivacqua comes across the line, is it good enough for pole position? It is. It's P1 then. Thiago, the Brazilian, is 3/10 clear of Tim Heinemann. And I'll tell you one thing here, there's more time to be found in that sector number 3 because that was a very scrappy chicane from Thiago. But right now, it is indeed first blood to him. 10 minutes, 58 seconds left on the clock. Vivacqua has announced himself in the session. Papadopoulos here going slowly. I think that might be a case of just letting the car go through. I'm not sure there's going to be an issue with the car. The car seems to be going okay. Theo Uverhaus then has gone green here, so a bit of improvement. 48.7 is about 4/10 of a second off of the quickest times. 24.1 is around about the pace you want to be, actually. It's a really quick middle sector. This is going to be a good time. If you can find something in the final sector here, Uverhaus, you might be golden. He'll be the first to admit that his qualifying is his big weakness, if he has any. And as he goes across the line, it's P4. And I tell you what, if you offered Uverhaus a top 4 start in a race, I think he would probably take it from a qualifying perspective. Colin Carasani then, who was championship leader coming into this weekend's races, is now up to P3. Again, someone who probably struggles with qualifying more so than his race pace. as he runs a little bit wide there on the exit of turn number 1. But there's so many lines you can take through there that you're golden. As Thiago Vivacqua's purple through sector number 1, but the car that's on screen right now is Ricky Capo. He's green and he's purple. This might be good enough to go pole position here. Ricky Capo across the line. All the Australians go wild as he does go pole, and it's by 0.08 of a second. Wow, okay, so we're just about the halfway session of this, halfway point of this session, and things are starting to get very spicy indeed as Vivacqua retakes it by 0.4 of a second. A 34.3 then for the Brazilian. And well, as it stands then, it's Audi, it's Porsche, it's Toyota, then it's BMW, 4 manufacturers. Oh, wow, look at that. That's like a happy dog jumping for a tennis ball there. Over the curb we go. Whoa! Tell me you're on the limit without telling me you're on the limit. That is glorious there. You don't want to be doing too much of that. But look at this. All 4 wheels off the ground? Absolutely. No problem whatsoever. And there is no sorry in sight there, for sure. That's how you maximize that final chicane. Brilliant stuff. Theo Uverhaus, well, he's just gone green and purple here. Has he figured out qualifying? Across the line he goes, it's P5. So has improved, just 0.9 of a second off of pole, but went purple through the middle sector. Eduard Kauhalper, Papadopoulos then has just gone up into P8 again. 2.2 seconds off the pace. So again, just trying to warm those tyres up and get themselves involved then. Kauhalper across the line. It'll be P8 then for Eduard. And well, qualifying just seems to be the thorn in their side so far, as Thiago Vivacqua's just gone purple through sector number 1. Ricky Capo's gone green through sector number 1. It's not the quickest middle sector here, but can Capo improve on his time? It's currently 0.4 of a second off of pole, and it's not an improvement there, unfortunately, with 8 minutes remaining on the clock. Thiago Vivacqua, has he found any improvement here? No, he has not, so it's a 34.3 still, but that's still 0.4 clear. Heinemann, of course, championship leader in P4 as it stands. Oh boy, so lots of excitement here. We're going to get some more jumpy over that chicane as well. It's now time for an AMG to have a go here. Clearing that yellow curb, all 4 wheels off the ground. And then using a little bit of the yellow curb on the exit. You've got to be really careful. The exit curb really is where it will indeed destroy the car. And well, that is absolutely on the limit. All 4 wheels on the curb, a couple of wheels on the grass there. Dust being kicked up as we're on board then with Theo Uverhaus, who's currently down in P7 here. It's a green first sector, but nothing really to write home about. But no one's going purple now. So the track maybe starting to fall away from people. We've seen this many a time. We've seen this, that people manage to get their maximum time around the middle part of the session, and that's it. The tyres kind of aren't good enough to continue to improve here. Although Jacob Riegel had momentarily just gone purple through sector 2. Jacob Riegel, by the way, is now P4. Out of nowhere, he's jumped up to P4. Ricky Capo's just gone purple through the middle sector as well. Almeida across the line goes up to P3 out of absolutely nowhere here. Capo's first sector is still quick. Even though it's grey, that is quick. Ricky Capo might be about to go pole position here. Across the line he goes. It is quicker. It's 0.3 quicker. But it's only good enough for P2 as it stands. His teammate, Daniel Gregor, only in P15, by the way. P2 yesterday from P12. We thought the Porsche was quick, but Gregor really struggling today. He's out on circuit, though. He is definitely out on circuit. Oh, we're just asking what... Oh, sorry there, guys, in the chat. So basically, the sectors at the bottom of your screen, if it's green, it means it's their personal best. If it's purple, it means it's the best out of everybody. It's Moritz Lohner. What curbs? Don't worry about the curbs. It's fine. The BMW just munches them up like the Cookie Monster. Then you've got grey, which means it's just slow. Don't worry about the grey. No one wants a grey sector. No one needs that. So hopefully that explains it to everybody as well. So there we go. Moritz Lohner up into towards a top 10. And also, we've got 5 minutes left of the session, ladies and gentlemen. We do... Oh, drifting it around the final corner there. Uverhaus, absolutely on the limit. Fulgencio, by the way, green, which is personal best. Personal best. Uverhaus then P4. He is... Well, that first sector is lightningly fast to get himself up to P4. And now Heinemann all of a sudden down into P6. Karasani down into P8. Ricky, oh wow, Ricky Capo's flying. Ricky Capo's flying, it's purple, a 47.71, a 23.9. The most unlucky man in the season so far. He managed to miss 2 races because of a seized engine. Yesterday was taken out in lap number 1. Ricky Capo currently on the front row of the grid. He's in second, but will be pole position. It is a provisional pole. It's a 34.154, 2 tenths clear of Thiago Vivacqua. And with what, 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Oh boy, is that good enough to keep hold of pole position? Daniel Gregor, by the way, is green as well. So he was struggling throughout this session, but seems to have hooked something up here. Although at 48.05, you need to be in the 47s already. It's a low 24 though, which is a really good middle sector. This is a really good lap actually from Daniel Gregor. Moritz Lohner, by the way, green, currently down in what would be P11. Across the line for Daniel Gregor. How quick is it? It's P6 then for Daniel Gregor. And well, if he can get to P2 from P12, P6 is going to be an obvious win then for Gregor by yesterday's measurements. And of course he will have success ballast for finishing in second as well. So in the race he will be maybe a little bit slower than yesterday. Moritz Lohner across the line is P4 for him. So again, we still have the 4 different manufacturers at the top of the timesheets here, with Porsche and Ricky Capo at the top. Karasani then maybe finding a bit of pace here. It's a 48.35 then in the first sector. And then we go through the middle sector, and it's grey, so it's not the greatest here. And with 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go, really needs to get the hurry on. As Capo's going purple still here. It's ridiculous from Ricky Capo at this stage. As Karasani is still only in 11th position. It's not great. It's not ideal there for Colin, considering he's second in the championship by 12 points. He needs to at least be ahead of Heinemann. Looks like we have just had Papadopoulos move up the order as well. Regal into P6 as well. Capo, did he improve in his time? No, he did not, so it was not a good third sector. Ricky Capo is about to get 3 points in the bag here, unless Tim Heinemann could do something about it, because Tim Heinemann is absolutely flying here, ladies and gentlemen, across the second sector. Is it purple again? Well, it's green. Oh, this is good. This is really good here. Of course, winner from yesterday, championship leader, with indeed a 12-point advantage, winner of season number 1, the most winningest driver, the most points ever scored in the DTM Trophy, is, well, behind Daniel Gregor here and maybe looking to take provisional pole. Gregor across the line. He's gone second. It's a Porsche front row, but Tim Heinemann, can he spoil the Porsche party? Oh, he can. It's P1 then for the Toyota driver. Toyota Gazoo Racing Germany, powered by Ring Racing, the longest team name in the world. It's got a 2/10 of a second advantage over the Porsches. Is there an answer from anybody here, though? Can Ricky Capo, can Daniel Gregor, can Thiago Vivacqua, who's in the pits? Vivacqua's done, so he will not be able to improve on his time. Moritz Lohner, by the way, up to P6. We've got the number 18 then of Eduard Kauhalper, who's gone green through sector 1, grey in sector 2, jumping over the curbs in sector number 3. Around that final corner we will go. And are we going to see Eduard Kauhalper potentially go up the order here? From P11. Across the line he goes in the number 18, and we'll get maybe 2 more attempts. It's P7, so it is indeed the 4th row of the grid. 3 cars are in the pits then. Vivacqua. Uverhaus is done. Henkefend is also done. Papadopoulos crosses the line, P15. Hoffman on an outlap here. Daniel Gregor is only grey through sector number 1. So I'm not sure this is going to be a quick time. You'll see them. Hanke, by the way, has just gone up to P11. Gregor's now gone purple through sector number 2. And actually, in all fairness, it's a really, really quick sector number 1, even though it's grey here. This could be good enough to go maybe second, potentially could go pole position. Round that final corner, it was P12 yesterday because of the championship order starting, to P2 in the race. An incredible performance. Can Daniel Gregor potentially get a pole position here? Across the line he goes, and it's not good enough. They stay P3. Ricky Capo's done, so Ricky Capo will not be on pole position today. Oh, that is not going to happen here, as Daniel Gregor just showcasing how much on the limit he really is. Again, just looks so planted, that Porsche. But when you're still racing against Tim Heinemann, Tim Heinemann is just a different beast. Tim Heinemann could make a unicycle go fast around here. That's how good he is. Moritz Lohner, P6, just crossed the line. No improvement there. Jordan Wallace, P14 for him with 50 seconds left on the clock here. And I think Daniel Gregor is the only driver, realistically, that could challenge for that pole position. As it stands, Heinemann's going to get 3 points here and extend his championship lead to 15. Kauhalper are maybe going to improve on their personal position. It's P5 then. It is ahead of their teammate as well. So it's an all BWT Muka Motorsport row 3 for P5 and P6. Oh, it's P2 and P3 for Porsche, but it's the most important position on the circuit right now. It is Heinemann, who's in P1. Nick Hanke then in the number 99 across the line is P11 then for Nick Hanke. No improvement there for him, and only 0.02 of a second behind Fulgencio and that top 10. 6 seconds remain here, so if you haven't crossed the line by now, you're pretty much done and dusted. Daniel Gregor is grey. This is not going to be an improvement on the time, I don't think. So it looks like Tim Heinemann is going to indeed continue his dominance, but also today he will tie the record for most appearances in the DTM Trophy. Ben Green holds that with 26. It will be 26 appearances for Tim Heinemann come the end of the day. But of course, he is the most winningest driver as well, and he's also scored the most points. But as the checkered flag has indeed come out, Tim Heinemann is grey here. That's session over. But I tell you what, it's not really going to matter here. He's got pole position yet again. Across the line, he does indeed go. And he has just showcased a skill set this season that, well, I just didn't think really was possible, to be honest. He is so fast, and he is just a difference maker. It's another pole position for Tim Heinemann. Ricky Capo, is this the turn of his fortune? He's been so unlucky so far this season. Yesterday, of course, had a really quick race car, but did not make it past lap number 1. He's going to start on the front row of the grid here today. Gregor, his teammate, will start in P3. Vivacqua in P4. We know that car is going to be lightning off the start today as well. Cowhelper will be in 5th, and then Almeida in 6th position. Wow. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff indeed. I hope you enjoyed that watching at home. If you are indeed watching on YouTube, make sure that you go to the live stream now and put notifications on for the race. It will be 3 p.m. local time, 2 p.m. UK time when it will start. Tim Heinemann, 3 points in the bag. He takes pole position. Capo, the Australian, will take 2 points. He will start on the front row. Gregor takes the final point then in 3rd. Vivacqua, Cowhelper, Almeida, Lona, Uverhouse, Regal, and Fulgencio round out your top 10. And then we've got Nick Hanke in 11th position and Henkefend in 12th. Karasani, who's 2nd in the championship. That is a devastating qualifying for Karasani, but we know what he's like in the race. He'll be absolutely fine. Papadopoulos, Wallace, and Hoffman round out your 16 drivers.